Right, I'll make this really quick. Juliet. Right, I'm really, really cross about all of this because do you know something? I can't believe that you're behaving like this. Because it was how you've left me, and you could have put a stop to this. And I think, are you getting an enjoyment out of this? I should not be in your home. If you had come down when I suggested that you come down, well, as soon as I got that letter, you could have gone in there and said, why is this happening to her? But because of your sudden, very bizarre behaviour towards me and your dishonesty and this troll account that's I've never had anyone spell my name the way that you have, okay, with two N's. And this sudden bizarre switch, and you suddenly walking out of the door, you didn't even respond to me. You walked right out of the door to the end of the corridor, and you told me not to speak to any of the residents here. Now you've sent me a bizarre text. I can't even respond to your text messages. I don't know how to work this phone properly because the police broke my phone when they beat me and I had to have an x-ray. You were more adamant about me being trafficked to this property than you were to come down to SDR Living to say, what the hell are you doing to my friend? But your text message to me, where you're saying a complete stranger called Dan or Daniel Brown has messaged you. So you would rather listen to this vile creature that I blocked than to your friend. And you're claiming, are you playing the victim now? Because it seems like it. You're a support worker for this. You said to me, keep documenting. And I told you that I had left messages for you on YouTube. No one knows who you are. So what have you got to hide? I haven't said your surname. I haven't said where you live. You don't want the neighbours here to know, but you're not being honest. I am the victim of domestic abuse, okay? And if you are a victim of domestic abuse, you should understand this. You should have come down to me as soon as I received that letter, but you suddenly switched and said, I've just been finishing treatment. Let's go and have a look at this room. This is not doable. And I've just been on the phone to a solicitor today. But because of your sudden bizarre, I can't trust you now. And I thought that you were a trustworthy friend. So I've got to flag this up as a safeguarding concern. You encouraged me yourself to keep documenting. You said, keep documenting. And because of your dishonesty and not disclosing very serious things to me, I I need to flag this up. I now need to flag up uh your sudden bizarre whatever. I'm not doing this catch 22 rubbish anymore. Let's call a spade a spade. Either you're a friend and you're with me or you're not. You said that these are crimes against me, and they are. You know that I'm a vulnerable person. You know that I've got no one. Why would you do this? Why? And you haven't once mentioned the gift that I made for you. You just text me, oh, you haven't said have I had a safe journey? When every time you go on the train, I text you and say, have you had a safe journey? So I text you and I said, you haven't mentioned the gift that I crafted for you in the hotel. The gift I crafted for you with the frill around the edge. And I even said to Darren, I find it a bit strange that she hasn't mentioned that gift that I made. But never mind, because the gifts that I made for Steve Churchill, the gifts that I made for the nurses who nursed my late mother, all these gifts have been swiped and put into storage. I'm in the middle of making some notes for the executors of my late mother's estate, and I've got to flag this up. So isn't it just as well, Juliet, that I haven't asked them to speak to you? Because Eben has abused me, Darren has abused me. You flagged up Darren's abuse. You're a victim of domestic abuse. And all I'm getting is abuse, 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 and narcissistic, everyone using each other. But the one person who is the most extremely vulnerable and yet the most brutally honest is the one person being targeted in all of this, me. Because it all revolves around me, and it's all about no, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's all it is. When you first made me feel intimidated, saying we've got to go and see this room, and you saw how nervous I was, and you started to say, oh, I've only just come out of treatment. Make up your mind, because Eben, who's abused me, when I asked her to speak to you, and I've got to flag this up, all of this up, Eben, who said she's disposed of my things, said we all know about Juliet's cancer. And I asked her to speak to you, and she said she didn't want to speak to you, but she spoke to you behind my back anyway. You see what I mean? Don't use it to manipulate, because I have been telling everyone else about your treatment that you'd only just finished. And you suddenly got funny with me, and you saw how anxious I was. I didn't flip out, but you flipped out at me. I'm in a state of oppression and trauma over this. Anyway, there we are. There we are. Yeah, thanks a lot, Darren. Thanks a lot. The same police who beat me, and then I had to have an injury, an X-ray, and I was praying the whole time. They referred to you as a C word, Darren. But if Juliet is going through domestic abuse and she's using it's just very, very interesting, isn't it? That she's not being very honest here about a few things, shall we say? And yes, I'm having suicidal thoughts. Of course I am. I'm battling suicidal feelings all the time. All the time. This is my channel to document my experiences. And I shall die telling the truth. And I won't have a funeral. Because why would I want anyone there if no one's been there for me and people aren't telling the truth if they take advantage? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I'm holding back a lot of things. I like to know where I stand. I like to know where I stand with people. And honestly, you're making me feel really used now, Juliet. Really used. You said keep documenting, and you intimidated me a little bit, because you know how extremely vulnerable I am. You've got family. Darren's got family. You've got someone to support you with domestic abuse. Who've I got? No one. That's why I slept rough. You're no different to all these others then, are you? The police and everything. You're no different, because we live in a world of narcissism. You could have come down there and then when I needed you. I needed you as soon as I told you about the letter. And I thought, why is Juliet not coming down here? Why is she not here ASAP? Why is she not getting down here? And I thought, Well, maybe she's not well. You said you had appointments to go to. Fair enough. But I needed you there and then, and you have not been honest with me about very serious things. So even though you have, it would appear, sent that letter, that email to Caroline Ansell MP office, it's too late now, isn't it? It's too late. No one's come into your home and taken all your stuff. I'm upset. I'm in a state of oppression. I'm still feeling suicidal. This is not me trying to make you feel bad. This is how it is. I feel coerced into this. You made me feel coerced into this. And I only did it to appease you because I'm a bloody people pleaser. Even when I'm fuming angry. That's why all of this has been done to me. Not once did you say to me, "Thank you for that gift you crafted for me." You just responded in text, "Oh, you haven't asked me if I've had a safe journey," when that's all I ever asked you. You walked out the door, you said, "Don't talk to the neighbours," and you saw my distress, but you just blanked me. A friend doesn't do that. No one knows who you are. You've encouraged me to keep documenting, and I am. So you're going to listen to a random stranger, are you, who's saying, "Oh, I'm saying this about you and saying that," when I was the one who let you know that I texted you to say when you walked out the door, "I've made a YouTube message for you." I said you work for the same Shah as my middle sister. You have the same job that my middle sister had for the same housing association that exploited me when my mother was dying. What have you got to lose? Nobody even knows you. Blimey. There are so many people who work down here in the care services and no one ever actually does anything. You encouraged me to keep documenting, and because of your sudden don't worry, it's only 8:30. I've just got a loud voice, and I've had very serious crimes committed against me, and you said yourself it's criminal. Crimes against humanity. Up to life in prison for malfeasance of office. Bye.